It's strange how some memories never fade, especially the ones that scare you the most. I still remember the voice from the intercom that day. Lockdown, lockdown. This is an emergency alert. That sound froze the entire school. But for me, it meant something far worse, because I knew exactly why it was happening. See, I've always hated bullies. Not because I was ever bullied myself, but because I watched what it did to other people. And no one had it worse than Larry. He was the quiet kid, the one who sat alone, never talked, always looked down. Thick glasses, braces, that awkward haircut that made him stand out even more. Everyone picked on him. The jocks, the girls, even the freshmen. It became like some sick tradition. I used to just watch it happen. Pretend it wasn't my problem. Until one day I saw a senior teaching a freshman how to make fun of him. Something inside me snapped that day. I started defending Larry whenever I could. People called me weird for doing it, but I didn't care. At least he looked a little less broken when I was around. Then one afternoon, I decided to sit with him at lunch. He looked surprised, like he couldn't believe someone actually wanted to be there. We talked for a bit. Random things, comics, homework, and for the first time I saw him smile. But it didn't last long, because then I noticed something off. The way his eyes shifted. The way his voice started to tremble when I mentioned the others. There was this moment, this cold, quiet moment, where I realized something inside him had changed. He wasn't just hurt anymore. He was angry, the kind of anger that doesn't go away. And when I saw what he was hiding in his bag that day, I felt every drop of blood in my body turn to ice. It was just a glimpse, but it was enough. A gun, right there in his backpack. I tried not to panic, tried to act normal. But inside I was shaking, because I could tell from his face. This wasn't a fantasy. He was going to use it. The rest of that day felt like it lasted forever. The moment the bell rang, I walked out of that cafeteria and ran straight to the office. I didn't even think twice. I just told them everything, comma. Less than a minute later, the alarm went off. Lockdown. Lockdown. From the window, I could see the chaos outside. Students running, crying, slamming doors shut. It was like the whole school was holding its breath. The police showed up fast, but Larry was gone. They found him later that evening at his house. He didn't resist. He didn't say a word. They just took him away. I never saw him again after that. They said he'd never be allowed back in the district. But even now, years later, I can't stop thinking about him. I still wonder what would have happened if I hadn't said anything. Would he have done it? Would we all be dead? Sometimes at night, I wake up thinking I see someone standing outside my window, glasses reflecting the moonlight, watching, waiting. Maybe it's just my guilt playing tricks on me. Or maybe Larry never forgot who turned him in. Either way, every time I hear the words, lockdown, lockdown, I still feel that same cold terror creeping up my spine. It started about a month after I moved into that old apartment. Cheap rent, quiet neighborhood, a little creepy at night. But I didn't care. I just wanted a place to start over. The first few nights were normal, until I started noticing things. At exactly 3:17 a.m., the sound would begin. A slow, deliberate knocking on my door. 3 times. Then silence. At first, I thought it was the neighbors. Then walls, weird timing, nothing serious. But when I opened the door one night, there was no one there, just the empty hallway. And this freezing air hitting my face, I tried to ignore it, put on headphones, turn up the TV, didn't help. Every night, same time, same knocks, 3:17 a.m. Then came the whispers, soft, right behind the door. Sometimes I could swear I heard my own name. Like someone was standing inches away, whispering it through the wood. I called the landlord, told him about it. He just went quiet for a moment and said, "Don't open the door, no matter what you hear." Then he hung up. That night I barely slept, and right when the clock hit 3:17, the knocking came again. Slower this time, heavier. I sat on my bed, holding my breath. Then I heard the sound of the lock turning. By itself, I ran to the door, pushed the deadbolt down, and backed away. My heart was racing so hard I thought it would burst. Then, I saw the shadow. It slid across the floor, under the gap of the door. A shape, shifting, stretching, like smoke made of darkness. And then, the whisper again, right next to my ear, "Let me in." I froze, couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Then everything went quiet. No knocking, no whispering, nothing. When the sun came up, I packed my stuff and left. Didn't even take my deposit back. A few days later, I met the guy who moved in after me. He said he loved the place, except for one weird thing. Every night, at 3:17, someone knocks on his door 3 times, and sometimes he swears he hears a voice whispering from inside the apartment, asking to be let out. I've always been the kind of person who doesn't believe in haunted places. Ghost stories, cursed houses, all that stuff never scared me. Until I moved into apartment 104 Point. It was cheap. Too cheap. The kind of deal that makes you question what's wrong with it. But I was broke, desperate, and the landlord seemed eager to hand over the keys. So I moved in. The first night was fine. A little cold, maybe. The power flickered once or twice, but that's old buildings for you. Then I started noticing the door, the one in the hallway, right across from my bedroom. It was locked tight when I moved in, and the landlord said, "Don't worry about that one. It's just storage." But the thing is, sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night and hear noises coming from behind it. Not rats, not pipes. It sounded like breathing. At first, I thought it was the neighbors, so I knocked on the wall. Silence. Then 3 soft knocks came back, perfectly timed, perfectly slow. I laughed it off, tried to sleep, but the next morning the door was slightly open, just a crack. I told myself I probably imagined it, but when I looked closer, I saw something on the floor, a small footprint, bare, wet, leading straight out from that dark gap under the door. That night I pushed a chair against it. Felt ridiculous doing it, but it made me feel safer, until I woke up at 3:33 a.m. to the sound of the chair sliding across the floor, slowly, like someone was moving it from the other side. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and aimed it at the door. It was wide open. The air turned icy. My breath came out in clouds. Then I saw it, something standing just inside the doorway, not moving, not breathing, just watching me. Its face looked almost human, but wrong, like someone had tried to recreate a face from memory, and failed. I couldn't scream, couldn't even move. It tilted its head slightly, and I swear, I heard a whisper in my mind, not out loud, in my head. "You shouldn't be here." Then everything went dark. When I woke up, it was morning. The door was shut again, chair untouched. I called the landlord, demanded answers. He just sighed and said quietly, "You shouldn't have opened it." I told him I didn't, but he hung up before I could finish. That was 3 days ago. And now, every time I walk past that door, I feel eyes on me. Sometimes at night, I see it move, just a little, like it's breathing again. I think whatever's behind that door isn't trapped anymore. I think it's waiting.